Okay, so here's the next stage of the problem. You let nice little sweet old man retiree who is really literally working currency off of minted children in this city, in this state of Texas. There's pretty much no dispute right now that what's been happening, at least for the last 3 years I've been in Texas, is a policy whereby the children are being biometrically connected to the local financing and the state financing at the very least, usually through their healthcare treatment, and that they're harvested. Their hormones are harvested and then recirculated through health insurance systems to old people. That at some point, your retirement benefits involve literally being availed of the hormones and other things connected to children that are harvested as part of the finance system. And another part nobody really talks about is the manner in how they allowed for Wyndham School District to be set up, and then a situation happened that changed the relationship between it and the workforce solutions, so that then people that are going through some sort of workforce training, including former offenders, are then put in the mix as well. Okay? So you've got the children and the young people in this state having their hormones harvested to be redistributed to other people through alleged health insurance, and that's why they act like they talk like a child. And meanwhile, the currency of other people in the state is so depreciated. And whatever it is that the judicial system thinks it's doing ends up basically insulting the intelligence of pretty much everybody in the state and miring people in this procedural malaise where the actual effective functioning and the capacity to actually engage in civil society is just so degraded. And I think that what's happened is since they started doing that smart meter program in Texas, that the people in the energy sector took their decades worth of completely reckless, irresponsible, and depraved behavior to another level. And they used what that was supposed to be a remedy for people to be able to try to get some redress for what they were experiencing. And they tortured people. I think that they literally tortured the people in Texas that attempted to go through some sort of public redress process to get some rules put into effect that would put some parameters around the exploitation that was going on in their own homes through the smart meter program. And the Texas judiciary co conspired with them to humiliate them and torture them in their own homes until they agreed to cede or concede. And in the process, what they ended up doing is they ended up harvesting the bioenergy of the children in their own homes and then set them up through biometric accounts and other finance schemes to be harvested in the schools. And it was compounded when the teachers in the state of Texas refused to speak directly about what was going on and allowed themselves to be availed of compensation packages that were based upon the harvesting of their children, while the parents didn't stop it either, right? And so now we're in this situation where it's literally just understood. And you've got a whole generation of elders in this state, including elders that engage in a pseudo ultra constitutional shadow government. You know, the silver haired legislature, where they hook up deals and they hook up bids in some sort of pseudo governmental organization that literally makes sport out of violent reprisal against and grotesque acts of trafficking of women that could otherwise contribute to the economy. Just so you know, this is what the president's economy is based on right now. And this is what has been minted. They minted their children. They minted their children and they circulated it as a currency, and you're supposed to just accept that the hormones feel good. And you're not supposed to notice that nobody's capable of actually having a rational conversation. That's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing this whole time. It's that horrible. So, what is to be done here? Because this is not sustainable. This is not acceptable. This is not sustainable in any way, shape, or form. And at some point, you're going to have to look yourself in the face and realize that's what is it is. That is what this apathy and is what this concession has done. It's created a situation where people literally harvest the hormones of children as bribes to keep quiet about the other kinds of exploitation that is expected of people. And the thing is, what do we end up getting in return? Even if you agree to cooperate, what do you get in return? So, why are they allowed to masquerade as if they have some kind of authority? Why are they allowed to moonlight like they're legislators or like they're qualified to be justices or judges or attorneys? Why are they allowed to do this? And why are you so committed to your loyalty to a bunch of bankers that literally provide the mechanism through which this occurs over the welfare of women and children and people in their own home when they have their home? I just want to know. The legal arguments don't really seem to make much of a difference to you. I think everybody who might, peruse what I write or what I say, apparently you're more qualified. Okay, fine. Everybody else, you're all more qualified. That's why you got the letters. That's why you got the paper. That's why you got the special insurance. Fine. You're more qualified there. And keep it simple. I'm just a woman. I'm just a fucking woman. And I don't want to be forced to engage in acts of prostitution in order to be able to eat fruit. It's very fucking simple. What is so much more important that your loyalty is to everything that conspires to basically say to me, Charity, if you don't come on command when ordered, nothing's going to change. You're lucky to be alive. You should be grateful for what you have. That's what you've done. I can't have a child. You've genocided my children. I cannot have a child knowing you've created a world where children are expected to engage in sexual activity as part of your circulation of a depreciated currency that you won't even acknowledge. I will not breed. And I will not tolerate people making excuses for saying something about a woman's healthcare option, including in murdering her own child, in order to contribute to some sort of genetic repository as a way to try to compensate for how little you actually have as a basis for an economy. What is so much more fucking important? In any time in 3 years, all you had to do, really literally all you had to do was meet with me in person and provide me with a few simple, basic steps to establish and verify that I had done that thing at any time. The FBI, the DOJ, the senator's office, the goddamn fucking courthouse, even the goddamn police station at any fucking time. Why did you so comprehensively insist on making a mockery of it? Why? Because what you did instead, that you gave credence and legitimacy to, is enough to bring the entire fucking country down permanently and irrevocably. We have no just cause for continued existence.